Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? It's Monday, March the 13th. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually Tuesday, March the 13th. Just making sure you guys are as attentive as I am, alright? It's Tuesday, March the 13th, and we're going to talk about Litecoin today. It's about 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, and a lot has happened with Litecoin, I have to admit. If you guys have been following my tactical analysis for the past few days on Litecoin, a lot has happened. And woo! We nailed target, guys. We have absolutely nailed target. So Litecoin is still number 5 as always, with a market cap of $9.8 billion. Every day, guys, when you're doing your technical analysis for the first time on your coin, if you're a day trader, if you're a swing trader, make sure that you always check out the coin market cap and where it ranks, just to get a comparison of the previous days and just to get a history of the 24-hour volume to see how it's been trending thus far. You can go to coin market cap, click on historical data, and it'll give you a really good representation of the volume over the past few days. So if we look at Litecoin here, it's at about, you know, $943 million, the market cap there for the on March 9th. But over the past few days, it's been dwindling. It's at 625 million, shot up a little bit during Bitcoin's rally there to 670 million, came down to 567 million, and now we're actually at a whopping 507 million only. So we're having a red day, which is absolutely fine for Litecoin. It was something that was fairly expected. So we have to wonder, was my Elliott wave count even accurate? Now I'm having some doubts. And sometimes we will come across situations where we are going to have doubt in the market and we're just unsure of if it's the actual right count or not. So in this video, we're going to go over if it's the right count. Now, if you guys have been following me for the past few days, especially, right, we were at this structure right here. We, first of all, took our Fibonacci here for this impulse uptrend, and then we counted right here, where it would fall in the golden pocket. A lot of people bought into here. Awesome. I projected a much higher target than that, actually. I projected something like $206, which we didn't even come close to hitting, right? Instead, what we're getting is a series of tops. In fact, we actually got 3 tops right here. A triple top that we simply just could not break. And that was very unfortunate. Yesterday, where I left off in the technical analysis was right here, okay? I left off about right here, we can say, where I started counting my waves as 1, 2, I think this was 3, and that was 4, and that was 5 going upwards like that, right? And I mentioned that we would actually get a B wave coming up. So we were going to get some sort of B wave like that coming up. And I mentioned we would actually hit 184 to 182 ranges, and that's exactly where we hit. If you guys have been following with my tweets there, then I also mentioned that we'd most likely fall right back down to where the golden pocket is, right? And if we actually extended it right here, I mentioned that there's a very good chance that when we hit around the 182 range, we would fall right back to this golden pocket zone. And that's exactly what we did. Awesome. So if you guys actually listened to my calls there, or just generally took my advice, right, you would have made some pretty good money there going up. So don't ever see my technical analysis as the one to follow and the only one to follow. Make sure you guys are keeping yourself well-rounded. Look at a lot of other technical analysis online, or analysts online as well. This way you can get a really good broad range of what other people are thinking in the market and their general market sentiment as well. Well, of course, the ultimate goal is that you guys watch enough of these technical analysis videos for you to be self-sufficient. So my goal is to train, you can say, or build up a lot of self-sufficient traders to the point where there's going to be a lot of other good technical analysts online that will emerge. And if there are many good ones that start to emerge on, say, YouTube or Twitter, then heck, maybe I can stop doing this technical analysis, right? And maybe I can just start following a lot of people instead. Maybe I can just stop doing it altogether, and the majority of my income can come from following you guys instead. It's kind of like creating an army of baby whales, right? I'm the mama, right? I'm the mama whale. We call me mama whale, guys, if you don't know, because like whales or elephants, right, it's a matriarch family where the the females, right? They're the boss in the family. So people have been calling me mama whale. My job is to train a lot of baby whales or mini penguins or tiny little dolphins, right? This way you guys can all become self-sufficient traders, and over time you guys are gonna make me a lot of money down the road, right? That would be awesome. So I call that my ABC coming down here, and I suggested that there's a very strong chance that we would create something like that. And surely enough, guys, that's exactly what happened. So you always want to take chances at the golden pocket range. So now what we easily see is this Litecoin being range bound, right? It's range bound, so we gotta break this specific pattern right here before we can consider it a downtrend or an uptrend. So we're entirely range bound between $171 about and about $193 as well. So this is leaving me to wonder right now, what is going on with Litecoin? Why is it range bound? Why is this formation looking like a bearish flag? And now I'm actually left to believe that this was not the original ABC that I had originally called. So if you guys remember, I'm just going to quickly recap, alright? We called this waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 going upwards like that. And then we call this our A, our B, and our C wave coming down. And then we took our Fibonacci right here. We took our Fibonacci, and then we said, okay, we could probably target somewhere right in between here when it comes down. And then we could take our, if this was waves 1, 2, 3, and I called this somewhere waves 4, right, and that was 5, like that, something like that in there. Then we took our Fibonacci extension from right here, and we targeted about the 1618 level, which happens to be right in that golden pocket zone as well, right? Right around there. And then we also did a 1-to-1 extension of just waves A and B to get a 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension. So that's how we got it right here. So we triple correlated it by getting waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Fib extensions. We also took our ABC 1-to-1 extension, and I took the waves 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just waves 1 and 2 to get the 161.8 extension. But now I'm thinking it's wrong. Yeah, that's right, guys. I think it's entirely wrong, and I think that we're gonna probably get another touch somewhere down over here, maybe to probably even lower. Maybe we'll get another touch all the way down here, to be quite honest, okay, to around the 157 to the 162 range. And the reason why I believe that is because I think very deep down, and not so deep down, that this is actually waves 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, and there's going to be a 5th wave somewhere right down there. So that's now my ultimate count that I've got to go with, and I don't have a choice because it just seems like this is a bearish flag, right? Not only that, Bitcoin, I believe, is going to correct further, and I think that it's going to drag down a lot of the other altcoins with them as well. So then if I actually zoom in on a much more detailed time frame, let's go to 6 hours or something, right? This actually seems like a very viable count now, doesn't it, guys? Okay, where this is now waves 1 like that. Okay, now this is where wave 2 is, and instead we get this count right in here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 just coming down like that. Let me actually just draw this a little bit nicer in here. Let's go to like a minuet. There you go. Modifying my count right here. This has to make more sense, right, guys? I mean, there's no other way to see it, in my opinion. I have to see it this way now. That this is A, this is B, and this is now waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just coming down here like that. You know, and this here is definitely making some sort of A, B, C in here like that, or it's making some sort of inverted flag, right? It's hard for me to not believe that it's going to come down despite the support right here, because we see this volume just heavily lacking right now, right? There's not a lot of buyers that are rushing in here, and that's got to leave you to wonder, like, where are all the buyers? Why have they not rushed in right now? So I'm just going to change this up a little bit here to make it yellow to be more visible as well. Does this make more sense now, guys? Where we get waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s coming down like that on a more detailed level? I'd say so. Definitely makes more sense. I also tweeted it as well now. It really does make sense for us to get some sort of double bottom here eventually over time, right? I just cannot help but think that this is some sort of bearish flag that it made, and this might not actually be the bottom, right? Like right where we are right now. So if we just look on all the time frames here, right, it may not even work out like this, right? It may not even get here, but it's hard to deny that according to an Elliott wave count even, or just on the RSI, we are definitely seeing some sort of inverted flag here. And whenever we see an inverted flag, it's hard to believe that we're gonna actually see an uptrend, right? So let's look at it in a very low time frame here. This looks like it wants to curve down, but will it actually curve upwards on the histogram? I don't know about that, okay? This is definitely gaining some strength, but we also see it in the same type of formation as well, just like Bitcoin, where it looks like it's an inverted flag. That seems like the flavor of the month so far, right? So it's really hard for me to believe, guys, that we're gonna end up going up right now. Looks like it wants to, right? Looks like it wants to, but I just don't believe that it is going to right now. We got to give it some time. We also see this down ticking right here, right? It looks like it wants to curve down. Looks like we are actually done the uptrend right here on a 6-hour chart, right? It's curving downwards, and it might even ground down a little bit for a few more hours as well. So we definitely can't deny that fact here, that it does look like it's possibly coming downwards. Here, is this support, right? Is this actually support? I don't know yet. So how should we play this, guys? The way we should be playing this is very cautious right now, okay? I mean, we're getting a series of wicks of rejecting to the downside, as you guys can see right here, right? Clearly, we're seeing a bunch of wicks right here, guys, coming to the downside. Which means, well, is it support? Is it actually rejecting to the downside and the bears are winning? Are the bulls winning right now? We see this inverted hammer, right? On a 4-hour, it's almost clear that there's a lot of indecision in the market right now. We get a bullish spinning top, sort of, right? We get an inverted hammer. We get like another, this is more like a bearish spinning top, inverted hammer, hammer as well, doji, right? This is like a bullish spinning top here. So there's a lot of indecision in the market, and I cannot help but feel that it's just waiting on Bitcoin to correct right now. And as soon as we hear news about Bitcoin and what it's going to actually do, that's where we're going to have a lot more decision in the market. Interesting, isn't it, guys? So now let's look on a 2-hour chart to see where it currently stands right now, right? We're definitely getting a series of rejections to the downside right here, okay? But we're also seeing it very range bound, wouldn't you guys agree? Right here. Actually, for the past how long now? Over 24 hours? Almost 36 hours, actually. Actually, for 28 hours now, we have been confined to this range roughly between 174 and 180. So there's like a $6 zone with some sort of punctures to the bear break and bull break sides, right? Where we do have to consider some bull traps and bear traps coming in. So the way that I'm seeing this right now as well is if I see this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, it is very difficult for me to see this as an impulse wave up now. I have no choice but to see this as ABC like that, okay? This way is the best way, in my opinion, to be seeing it, where we're seeing this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with subwaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 division in here with an ABC. And now we're left to wonder, what is this structure in here, right? And I cannot help but think to myself that this is actually, you know, some sort of waves 1, right? 2, perhaps a 3, a 4, and a 5 just coming down here. And I'll actually draw the waves in here for you guys to see it. Just something like that. Does this kind of look like it's doing something like that, guys? I mean, it's hard to not think that, right? Like, just, you know, if you do your analysis with me right here, it's almost hard to believe that it's not gonna end up doing something like that right here. So I do believe it might actually make a double touch in here. So how will we know, guys? The best way for us to tell is honestly to wait for Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, I firmly believe it's probably going to rally, guys. It's going to rally to roughly 9,400, 9,600 at most before it completes that bear pattern, that inverted bullish flag, or sorry, inverted bearish flag before coming down. So there's a chance that Litecoin could go up a little bit higher and break out of this confined zone above 180, right? If it does, you know, it might even go back up to like 182, 183 or something like that before it actually comes back down further. So you got to make sure that we factor in both bear and bull scenarios, okay? So the best way for us to confirm if this is an uptrend, to be quite frank, is to see if it's going to break above this 190, 194 region over here. If we break above 194, I'm just going to draw it in for you guys, right? If we break above, like I'm just going to say right here, I'll write it out for you guys as well. If we break above 194, bearish count off the table. Simply like that, okay? Now if we break below this range right here, 170, definitely consider. Whoops, my Gachi computer just froze there and I had to restart it very quickly there. So I was saying that if we broke above this range right there, around the 194 range, you know, the bearish count is off the table. Is off the table, in my opinion. I'm just gonna write it very clearly here. If we break above 194, bearish count is off the table. Now if we fall down to say the 170 regions again, right down over here, let's go to lower time frame, then the bearish count is now on the table. So what we try to do is we try to isolate these ranges, right? 170, bearish count is on the table, okay? So we try to isolate these possible ranges of where it could head to. And that's very important for us to distinguish as traders, to have both bearish and bullish counts. So am I interested in entering a Litecoin position? No, unfortunately not. It would have been best to short it from up there, of course, right? Then you'd be in a decent position. And if you went into a long position, it would have been best to enter it from the bottom over here. And sometimes it's just too late to enter, guys, because you no longer have a bias for yourself. And if you don't actually have a bias like that, then it's simply just too late to enter. So you guys got to be extremely patient for down the road, okay? So simply nothing you guys can do right now about it. I see this as ABC, and if I were to count, you know, my Elliott waves or something in here, that who knows what this could be, right? But I do believe there's going to be a possible fifth touch down over here, and we simply just can't ignore the fact that Bitcoin could do something, right? So yeah, just keep it on the table. You guys are unfortunately too late to enter a position, like I mentioned, right? There's nothing you can do about it except for just wait now to see what Bitcoin does. And after we see what Bitcoin does, whether it breaks to the 9,500 and comes down or simply just shatters that region right there, all you guys can actually do is just wait. So please be extremely patient to see the general direction of where we could possibly be heading. Yeah, so I hope that this has made sense. A, B, C coming down with waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 coming down like that. So now, unfortunately, I have to adopt a bearish count, and bearish counts are changed, or bullish counts are changed sometimes, right? If we see something drastically happening in the market, well, we got to make sure that we adapt to it as well. We cannot just simply stay biased all the time and think to ourselves, oh yeah, it's going to go up all the time. And you guys might see me, you know, like on a seesaw where I'm going up and down or changing my directions often. But you know what? That's what a good trader does, guys. Like people who call me out and say things like, oh, you change your mind all the time. Damn right I do. I'm a very reactive trader, and that's what's made me very successful, or that's where I found a lot of my success before, because I was actually able to adapt to the changing markets all the time. I've always have said that a good trader will react to market changes rather than try to predict what's going on, right? If you always try to predict what's going on rather than react, well, you might miss out on a lot of key things as new data comes in. So this is unfortunately my bearish count now. I do believe Bitcoin will correct further. If Litecoin does go up, I simply cannot see it breaching above 182 right now. 182, I'll probably end up entering a fairly large short position if we get to those ranges right there. I just simply cannot see it getting higher than that, guys. And if we do, okay, well, let's shoot for 184 after that. If we get to 184, or sorry, 194, right? If we break that, okay, then my bullish count is now back on the table. Now, if we simply trend lower than the 170 range, easily expect, guys, okay? Easily expect the bearish count. And once we get that bearish count here, well, you guys are going to see it most likely hit between the 157 to the 161 range, which could signal a very good buy opportunity for us again. So other than that, I just want to keep you guys updated throughout the days and the weeks as well for Litecoin. It's going to be one of those coins, guys, that's just going to creep up on us and we won't even know what hit us later this year. So make sure we always keep these bearish and bullish counts in mind, and I'll keep you guys updated in the future as more information comes in. And by the way, I actually have a new steemit now. If you guys wouldn't mind following me on there again, if you have a steemit account already as well, I would greatly appreciate that, where you can upload my material as well. Please like, subscribe, share, resteem, etc. You guys know the whole 9 yards. And if you guys have killed it in the market, and if you guys feel like donating to the cryptocurrency piggy bank, buy myself or my dog a drink. You guys know how my dog loves her cryptocurrency tequila. So have yourself a great day, and thank you very much for the love and the support as always. Bye now.